What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and some interesting new details emerging in the Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petitio story that I want to go over with you, as federal agents have now officially launched or issued an arrest warrant for Brian. I imagine his parents will be brought in fairly soon. Now, there's been a lot of pushback online as to why this particular story gets the coverage that it does. Some losers think it's just because of Gabby Petitio's skin color. It's obviously many other things. The fact that she was an influencer. Why do I cover it on this channel? Well, because she was a YouTuber. I don't see this channel going down the true crime angle. I don't think that is likely. Although if you guys like it, I probably would. After all, this is my job to entertain you. But this has been, in particular, really captivating. Is he in Canada? Is he in Florida? Is he in Alabama? Is he in Puerto Rico? New reports coming out every single day. By the way, if you like the coverage that I do on this channel, please consider joining as a member. There's one right down below the video. You get special access to better comment placing. You can get better access on the live streams. And it's just like a Twitch sub. So it supports me directly. Otherwise, I have a subscribe star in the description that is extremely important to the channel too. Now, new details emerge about Brian Laundrie's behavior in the days after she went missing. Let's actually go to some of the stuff that's more recent. Woman in Canada snaps photo of flustered lookalike. I mean, he does look like him, but it's not him. I'm pretty sure. And this is what I mean, like, when you have a case that's this hot and this widely covered, you get so many tips. I've talked to several people in law enforcement since I started covering this, and it actually becomes counterproductive, where you're getting like a billion tips, and there might be one good tip in there, but you're going through so many bad tips that it's difficult to know what the heck is even going on. A flight attendant has posted a photo she snapped of a flustered man she said looked strikingly similar to Brian Laundrie outside a hotel in Canada, according to a report. The woman said on TikTok that she spotted the man on Monday as he walked in the hotel in Toronto where he was staying. The man, who appeared, quote, flustered, then got in a car and drove off with another man. The woman said on TikTok, using the handle whatever. I'm not giving her free clout for that. She shared a photo she snapped of the balding man with prominent facial hair who wore a face mask around his chin, and then notified hotel staff about his likeness to Laundrie, who's been named as a person of interest. Yeah, it's not him. I wouldn't think. I don't think he's in Canada. It looks so much like him. It made me feel really nauseous because I've never seen him in person, like many of you haven't, and this is exactly how I imagined he would look, he said, according to The Sun. I did inform the hotel that I thought it was him, and the employees at the hotel didn't have any idea about the case, which was concerning. Well, they're in Canada. There's something else interesting with Brian's parents going on that didn't really get covered, but in the days after Brian returned home with the van, the family was seen leaving with a camper. Now, is Brian in that camper somewhere? Has the camper returned home? I'm not sure. I haven't seen much brought up about that. But you can see Brian Laundrie's parents left home with an attached camper, neighbors say. A couple who lives across the street from Brian Laundrie's Florida home said they saw the 23-year-old and his parents drive off with an attached camper on the same day a Long Island native was reported missing. Charlene and William Guthrie moved to Northport early summer and said it has recently been a nightmare amid high-profile investigation and media circus surrounding it. I saw them doing some work, and then they prepared for their trip. I saw them loading the camper, Guthrie said. The neighbor said he did find it odd that Christopher and Roberta Laundrie would go camping with their adult son in what they described as a small RV. The Guthries reported the incident to the PD, who later came to their home as a part of a missing persons investigation. The neighbor told Fort Myers that he saw Brian and the family leave with the camper on September 11th, the day she was reported missing. Source did not know if Brian returned home, according to the tweet. Is that camper sitting out somewhere? That's the interesting thing, is that camper sitting somewhere out there. Now, this is as the manhunt continues. And they're still searching the Florida wetlands, which I think is a huge mistake. Search crews resumed Manhunt Friday for Brian Laundrie in Florida wetlands, according to the FBI, issued a federal arrest warrant over events that occurred following. Now, what's interesting about this warrant is I'm wondering if they just issued it as a reason to justify this going forward, because it was something with like financial stuff, right? The search for Laundrie, who's been missing more than a week, turned into a manhunt Thursday after grand jury indicted him for the alleged unauthorized use of a Capital One debit card and several accounts. The documents say that he spent more than $1,000, but did not state who the cards or accounts even belonged to. My guess is, maybe I'm wrong here. I'm not a legal expert or a lawyer, but did stay at a Holiday Inn last night. I'm guessing that they needed to issue a warrant in order to maybe authorize more additional funds looking for him, or more additional man hours, since they didn't even have an arrest warrant. Really, he was only a person of interest. So it was probably getting difficult to justify how much money they were spending looking for someone that they really don't have any physical evidence of actually committing this act. And as many of my viewers have pointed out, we still don't really have any physical evidence. Now, I think it's probably a foregone conclusion for most people that, yeah, of course he was involved in this. But in America, every person gets their day in court. And if they don't have an actual arrest warrant for him, I wonder how they could justify spending all this money just simply looking for a person of interest when there's probably 50,000 persons of interest at any given time in this country. National security expert expects Brian Laundrie's parents to be summoned to the grand jury momentarily. I would certainly expect that at this point. I think, you know, as a parent, they're probably extremely reluctant to work with the investigation. Maybe they're convinced by Brian that he's getting railroaded. Maybe he is. I don't think he is, but maybe. A federal grand jury indicted Brian Laundrie for unauthorized use of a credit card following everything with Gabby. Frank Figluzzi, I don't know, don't really care. Here you have, there is no parent-child privilege, and I've actually thought by now we would see them summoned to the grand jury. We now have an indictment. It's a federal case. And now it's federal because it's credit fraud, probably. So now they're probably going to turn the heat up on the parents. I'm 100% convinced that at minimum, the parents hold the key to locating him. I'm like 85% sure they know where he is, or generally where he is, but I'm 100% sure that they would be the key to actually bringing him in. Frank says a former assistant director for the counterintelligence at the FBI predicted that Brian Laundrie's parents will soon be summoned to a grand jury. I would expect that to happen momentarily. See them in front of a grand jury, and if they're not going to cooperate, they can get charged with contempt or obstruction. There is no parental child privilege, and I actually thought by now we would see them summoned to the grand jury. We now have an indictment. It's a federal case. The indictment claims that Laundrie made unauthorized use of a Capital One debit card. I'm assuming it's Gabby's. If it's her credit card, presumably, that means the authorities are convinced that Gabby was unable to give permission to use her card. That means they are closer to fixing the time of passing. That's why you're seeing unauthorized use. She was likely gone by that time. Or they're just saying that, or they're just saying that so that they can get, the proper levels of, federal funding to keep looking for this guy. Now we have a law firm offering $20,000 rewards to anyone who provides information with a tip. And because I like you and because I want you to get some money, maybe you find somebody. A law firm with multiple Florida locations is now offering $20,000 for a tip that directly leads law enforcement to Brian Laundrie, a person of interest. He's still not a suspect in that case. Buhoff Law, and by the way, this is just a PR stunt, but I imagine they'll have to pay it out. You see, Buhoff is offering $20,000 for information leading directly to the exact whereabouts of the missing person, Brian Laundrie, a person of interest. Go get that money. Now, I'm sure. Who cares about Trisha Paytas? God, why is she famous? I don't understand. Anyway, Laundrie's parents reported him missing on Friday, telling police they hadn't seen him since the previous Thursday after he went for a hike at the sprawling nature preserve. Police have been searching for him in the 25,000-acre Carlton Reserve for nearly a week. He's not there. They're never going to find him. Now, the warrant is pursuant to a federal grand jury indictment related to Mr. Laundrie's activities. So we have here the FBI on the 23rd stating, is the official arrest warrant. And you see here people are flooding in with tips. Brian Laundrie sighting in Toronto, Canada, a YouTube video. I don't know. Where do you think he is? At this point, you know, I'm pretty sure that maybe he had done some cash advances or, you know, anything like that. Whatever the charge is irrelevant. They're just using this to be able to access more funding and access more things like bringing the parents in to a grand jury. And, you know, I'm not necessarily against putting the screws to the parents, but I also completely understand a parent not wanting to turn their kid in. It's a tough situation as a parent. I'm not sure. I can only replay, you know, I could only relate it to my pets. And if my dog had done something really bad and I knew it, and let's say they were going to euthanize him for it, I would probably not say anything. I just think that that's normal. So I'm not sure. But, you know, parent to parent, maybe Gabby's parents can talk to his parents and they can apply some pressure that way. And maybe they don't know anything at all. It's entirely possible. But it seems extraordinarily unlikely. So that's where we're at with the Gabby Petitio case right now. More will probably happen over the weekend. I think they're looking in the wrong place, certainly. But I'll keep you up to date, so make sure you click that red subscribe button down below the video so you never miss a video. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll talk to you again real soon.